Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has sought for commencement of the intercity roads project.
Venturing into a male-dominated field, the story of Oba Ajwa.
U.S. sanctions 6 Nigerians for aiding Boko Haram. Good evening, you're watching News Hour live on GBC News, the News and Governance channel. We're also live on GTV and streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Micheline Taka.
I am Rahmatu Mahmoud Ejawando.
The news in detail now. The 5th extraordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government on the political situation in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso has ended in Accra.
A communique has been issued insisting that military leaders in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso come out with timelines for transition to civilian rule.
The head of state decided that it will be, they are willing to provide for an extension of the transition of the transition in Mali in a range of 12 to 16 months, in addition to the 18 months that was already passed. And they engaged, therefore, the Malian to really work within this range so that an agreement can be reached. And once the agreement is reached, of course, the sanction could be gradually lifted. On Guinea, and it has been on several occasions that the authority has really indicated their concern that there is no visibility in the case of this the transition in Guinea. So they have again insisted that really, and they are demanding that really a transition timeline will be provided. But this time they are putting a deadline. In the past, they have been just asking for the timeline to be provided on several occasions, but now, as nothing is coming, now the authority is putting a deadline. They are putting a deadline, and today is March 25th, so they are giving 1 month. April 25th, they would like to see a transition timeline, the Republic of Guinea. In Burkina Faso, as we speak today, President Kabore is still in house arrest, in a sense. And the head of consider that this is totally unacceptable and that they are really insisting again that President Kabore be immediately set free without condition. The fact that the Transition Authority decided to have a transition timeline of 36 months. That was already noted by the delegation that went there to Burkina Faso, that this transition of 36 months is a bit long and need to be reviewed. So this again was, of course, something that was considered by the head of state. So those two elements, the freeing of President Kabore, the former President Kabore, and the reduction of the timeline of the transition from the 36 months acceptable timeline is something also that really was considered by the head of state.
The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has cut the sword for work to commence on the Kumasi Inner City Roads project at a ceremony in the Ashanti region. Under the Sino Hydro facility, the 100 kilometers road project has been scheduled to be completed within 30 months.
The Kumasi Inner City Road project is part of the Master Project Support Agreement (MPSA) between the Government of Ghana and the Republic of China through the Sino Hydro construction. The Kumasi Inner City Road is one of the 10 lots under the first phase of the MPSA, which involves the construction of 2 interchanges and the construction and rehabilitation of 441 kilometers of road network. The project falls within the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, 6 municipal assemblies and 1 district assembly. Areas to benefit from the project include Kwadaso, Bantama, Swame, Tafopankrono, Asokwa, Oforikrum, Subin, Inshaiso, Menshia, Santemampon, Ifiduase and Asokori. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. Simon Osei-Mensah, noted that the project will improve the quality of life of the people by improving the road network as well as reducing travel times within the Kumasi metropolis. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi Amoakwata, said works to be undertaken include drainage works, earthworks and surfacing works.
The Ashanti region, as at the end of 2020, had a total road network of 9,693 kilometers. And at the end of same period, 2020, the regional road condition mix was 39% good, 36% fair, and 25% poor. This data, as aforementioned, is currently being updated to determine an updated condition mix for 2021, which I believe and I am certain will show even more improvement on the network based on the extensive road construction and maintenance work being undertaken in the region.
The ambassador of China to Ghana, Mr. Lu Kun, lauded the strong bilateral ties between Ghana and China. The Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, was optimistic that the 100 kilometers of road will ease the burden of residents in the beneficiary areas as government works towards improving the country's infrastructure.
Interchange Watakra, the PTC interchange. Sunyani and Brekum inner city roads, Koso. Ninahine ho roads, Koso Tamale interchange, Baby, Cape Coast inner city roads, and also a Baby, Jasikan Dodo Pepesu road, and also a Baby, and Ashanti region, Baye Kumasi inner city roads. We share a Juma MPP Abain, What Ashantia and yet a Jumaketwa. So far, you completely asphalt 227 kilometers. Nyamiadum between now and 2024, ye be additional 400 kilometers of asphalt.
Nana Entry Eje Brimpong commended government for the various developmental projects in the region and urged government to see to the early completion of ongoing projects in the region.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources will on Monday, March 28th, open the tender for interested contractors to bid for the designing and reconstruction of the Apietic community raised by explosion on January 20th. The construction works will take into consideration ecological needs of the community, environmental sustainability, ventilation, climate-friendly energy sources, and proper waste management practices.
Construction of a total of 540 housing units and structures comprising 1 to 7 bedroom houses with toilet and kitchen facilities is expected to start at the end of May, while 12.5-kilometer town roads and drainage systems will begin April ending. These will occupy a space of 205.64 acres of land, but work will start on 124 houses at the explosion site for the first phase, while 416 houses are earmarked to be built on the fringe communities for the second phase, where the explosion was not that severe. Construction works are expected to be completed within 12 months. However, temporary structures are being put up at Idumase for the victims as the rainy season beckons to provide them some comfort. The housing plan made provision for transportation terminals, clinics, schools, churches, mosques, memorial center, new cemetery, stores along the highway and expansion of roads. It has 97 parcels of land for future expansion of the community. This follows 2 months consultation by the Reconstruction Implementation Team, which engaged the services of the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, Institute of Architects, and other professionals to talk to the opinion leaders, chiefs, traders, and interest groups to enable them to design the houses to suit the social cultural lifestyles of the people. Citizens of Apiate have been commended for their resilience and their warm cooperation towards working to rebuild their town.
Farmers and livestock keepers can now better anticipate climate-related events and take preventive actions. This technology ensures access to climate advisories linked to information about effective response measures. A group of agri experts are spearheading this innovation to help communities better safeguard their livelihoods and the environment.
Extreme climatic events such as flooding, extreme heat and drought has led to soil degradation, which results in low crop yields. To meet the increasing demand for food for the growing population in Ghana and ensure food security, a public seminar on the effect of climate change's impact on vegetable production has been held in Accra. The seminar explored lessons for climate action in Africa and identified pathways for addressing critical gaps and challenges. During a panel discussion on the subject, agriculture experts shared ideas on how women and small-scale farmers in Ghana can build better livelihoods upon receiving adequate financial, technical and capacity-building support.
I totally support the adoption of the climate-smart innovations as a means of mitigating agriculture-related climate change effects. Hence, the call for international donors as well as middle-income countries to increase spending on resilient agri-food systems over the next 10 years to achieve zero hunger and other SDG goals.
ACCRA is also unlocking the potential of inclusive, climate-smart innovations and finance for healthier crops, environment and people.
We're targeting to reach about 2 million farmers across Ghana, and this will actually impact them in terms of their livelihoods, connecting them to the right agro dealerships, and then also increasing their productivity.
Prior to the seminar, ACCRA team toured the tuber irrigation farm near Weja, a well-developed vegetable farm. The ACCRA team educated and trained farmers on how to use black soldier fly to produce manure and the use of biorational pest management technology. Farmers say the new innovation will improve crop yield.
The poultry droppings, at times when we use it and there is no water, it becomes very hot, and rather to kills the crops. But this one, when you use it, it doesn't do the crops anything. Whether there is water or there is no water, it doesn't do the crops anything.
Accelerating Impact CGR Climate Research for Africa, ACCRA, is focused on bolstering the livelihoods of smallholder farmers across the country and supporting greater food security for all. For GBC News, Yaira Lawe reporting. A spontaneous exercise to confiscate all analog and non-digital slot gaming machines in the country is underway across the country. Under the supervision of the Gaming Commission of Ghana, the move is to curb the menace of child gamers and exploitation of the vulnerable and ensure full compliance with the use of the new digital gaming machines.
The Accra exercise was carried out at Kaswa and its environs, where the practice is rife. At the time of the visit by officials of the Gaming Commission, children of school-going age were seen engaged in jackpot games. The children took to their heels when they spotted the pickup truck belonging to officials of the Commission. The head of public affairs at the Gaming Commission, Ms. BEATRICE BAIDEN, said the commission is getting tough on illegal game operators and activities in order to upgrade the industry to meet international standards and best practices.
If you look at Section 4856 of the Gaming Act 2006 Act 71, it states that minors are not permitted to go anywhere close to a gaming facility or a gaming machine, let alone to play. And so we as a commission took up this decision to actually ensure that we implement this ban on analog gaming machines in the country.
Ms. Baiden said the Commission has engaged gaming operators on the directives and given them the opportunity to adopt conventional digital machines.
For our stakeholders, they are all aware that the ban was coming into being, and also when we enforced the ban, we actually engaged them again that we had actually enforced the ban. So these jackpot machines are no longer operational in Ghana here.
Operators of the jackpot machines looked on and did not put up any form of resistance during the seizures. More than 50 machines were confiscated during the 4-hour exercise.
The Norwegian government has pledged its support towards the sustainable improvement and development of women-led small enterprises in the share value chain on a familiarization tour of the Gumdanda Shea Butter Processing Center at Gumu in the Kumbungu districts of the northern region. The Norwegian ambassador to Ghana, Madame Ingrid Molestad, said the sector presents an opportunity to address poverty and food insecurity, but lack of training and financing keep women from achieving the full profits from their efforts. Shea is a primary source of livelihood for women living in northern Ghana and is one of the few agricultural crops where women control their own revenue.
The shea value chain in Ghana is dominated by women, from picking shea nuts to processing them into commodities for a growing global market. Last year, the UNDP committed an amount of 1 million Ghana cedis to some 14 shea centers in Kumbung to boost the production of shea butter and its value chain. It also honored the groups with certification to sell their products on the international market. This was the first direct financial support to women-led enterprises to obtain a fair trade certificate through UNDP Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program. The project started in December 2019 through Ripple's OR Ghana, a local NGO in Kumbungu. So far, over 7,200 women have been trained in organic certified shea business in northern Ghana. Currently, there are about 244 women in the processing and 30,000 in the collection of nuts. These women have been able to increase their income between 120 to 200%. So far, over 5,000 women in the shea butter value chain are employed in about 10 processing centers in Kumbung, managed by Ripple's OR Ghana, a local NGO. The Gumdanda Shea Butter Processing Center is one of the 10 processing centers with about 75 women working in the various production processes. Ambassador Ingrid Molestad was taken through the various phases of producing quality shea butter. She acknowledged the hard work the women go through to produce the commodity to feed themselves and their families. According to her, Norway is one of the biggest donors to the UNDP, which is helping indigenous women in shea butter business to sustain it through empowerment and direct technical support.
It is important for women in general to be able to, do this in the most efficient way, and it's also, I think, for Ghana's economy, for Ghana's food production, sustainability of food production, you do also a great job.
Director of Ripple's OR Ghana, Hajia Rabiatu Abubakari, said the project is expanding the economic opportunities for women and asked for more support towards its sustainability.
The main challenge which affects us shea butter producer is our infrastructure and the management of the liquid waste we generate every day. Though we produce the best quality of shea butter, but our infrastructure does not meet the requirement of the international standard.
A representative of Gumo spoke on the need to increase the population of shea trees and protect existing ones from being cut down for charcoal and firewood.
Daring to take on roles that society assigned to men, Obajua's decision to venture into the local production of household items like sealing brush, scrubbing brush, etc., attracted a lot of negativity and discrimination from people, especially her gender, women. That unfair treatment nearly knocked her out of business. Breaking the bias, today she's not the only woman producing such items for the homes, but economically stable to support her husband, fend for the family. GBC News' Clara Mlano shares her story from Santase in the district of Ashanti region.
The production of these household items are common in this part of the country at Kuna. For Bajwa, this was a preferred job after trying her hands on several vocations, and she's been at it for the past 13 years. The hausa, derived from a ship, is the most valuable raw material to produce these items. The hausa rope is made of short fiber and spun into yarns, either flat or twisted strands, and then braided to make the finished rope. After purchasing the rope from the market, Oba untie all the twisted ropes into straight lines and tied into bundles for heating. Heating takes between 15 and 20 minutes. Taking off the fire and combed to check whether the texture of the hausa is at the preferred level. The process is repeated again if the ropes are not cooked enough to be used as an end product. Whilst at that, another valuable raw material needed is the metal cable found in lorry tires. Oftentimes, the tires are bent to extract these materials. The metal is cut out and carved into these sizable shapes, enough to hook onto the rope. Satisfied with the texture, the boiled ropes are washed again and dried for about 4 hours. It's a known fact that working as a woman entrepreneur is very challenging, but she tells me it's even more difficult being in a rural area. Lack of capital, readily available raw materials, transportation are just a few of their woes. The rope is then fitted into this wood, shaped according to the customer's specification or demand at a specific time. To make her products stand out on the market, Obajua complements her work by adding other colorful straws. Shifting attention more now to vocational and technical training, Obajua wants government to give them some form of local or capacity building training to enhance their work. With that, they can become trainers of trainees in their localities to minimize the unemployment rates in the country. Working from dawn to dusk, these beautiful products are the outcome of her work.
The banister, the crack and banister, where your ceiling brush, where your friend is square nibi. Okaswa patabaya, atabain, and the crammy.
With the misconception, says Obajua, that vocational and technical training are for dropouts or academically weak or the inferior, the youth will always downplay its importance and shy away from it.
Me catch me say, Monka said, you may be a man, son, be catching me. A man made man, Ajay. Mina minim dear men who won't tear me, my dear. Was my uncle Dina baby uncle Sre.
For now, after producing between 150 to 300 items a day, Obajua's desire is to expand her work at an established facility adequately resourced to produce more, not only for the local market, but penetrate the international market. For GBC News, Clara Mlano reporting.
You're watching News Hour live on GBC News, the News and Governance channel. The Confanochi Teaching Hospital is undergoing a massive infrastructural expansion and retooling funded by internally generated fund and supported from external partners. While the hospital itself is injecting 30 million Ghana cedis into the project, the Ghana Gas Company is supporting the expansion of its psychiatric units with 2.5 million Ghana cedis. Smile Train International, a non-profit entity, has also given a grant of $2 million for the construction of Ghana's first cleft center. These came up at a conference to review the hospital's performance for year 2021.
The Confanochi Teaching Hospital is Ghana's second biggest teaching hospital, affiliated to the University of Science and Technology. It provides tertiary healthcare to patients from the Ashanti region and beyond. Over the years, the hospital has performed below public expectation due to factors including inadequate infrastructure and essential equipment. This is what caused the board and management to approve the expansion project. A 4-story National Cleft Care Center under construction is part of the expansion project. The 2021 Performance Review Conference brought together major stakeholders of the hospital to evaluate its performance last year compared to the situation in 2020. The chief executives of the Kolebu, Cape Coast, Ho and Tamale teaching hospitals came to deliver solidarity messages and learn from the Confanochi Teaching Hospital's experience and best practices. The chief executive of the hospital, Dr. Ohinebo Sudanso, said that the expansion project would help the facility to do better.
Among the key policy recommendations of the World Health Organization for building resilient healthcare systems are the need for the right investment in health institutions and systems, staff motivation and welfare, creation of enabling environment for research, innovation and learning, and above all, equity.
The Director for Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Emmanuel Ankra Odame, emphasized that the need for the country to have a resilient and affordable healthcare system requires that all the teaching hospitals, Ministry of Health and other state agencies join hands to plan for the health issues that could emerge as a result of rapid urbanization.
As a ministry, as part of the national health policy, we are working with the other ministries because we realize that most of the things doing health will have to be done by actors outside the health sector.
A new board of directors for the Society for AIDS in Africa has been inaugurated in Accra. The new board has a 4-year mandate to help eradicate HIV/AIDS from Africa. The Society for AIDS in Africa has an agenda to eradicate HIV/AIDS from the continent by 2030.
Society for AIDS in Africa, SAR, at their biennial meeting held in Accra, inaugurated its new executive board. SAR is an African-led organization that collaborates with all national and international institutions to support government's national responses in fighting HIV/AIDS and also strengthen the health systems in Africa. The new board will be in charge from 2022 to 2025 at the handing over the president of the old board, Dr. John Idoko, group to make the society's work felt on the continent. On behalf of the new board, the new president, Dr. David Parry, who is also a former health minister in Zimbabwe, promised they would work hard to meet the targets set for them.
If you have got a very powerful director or coordinator, you must have a powerful board. Otherwise, the coordinator becomes the board. So you have to be very, very careful again to distinguish the two. My commitment, I will exercise the duties and responsibility of this office with integrity, collegiality, and care. Therefore, I pledge to establish as a high priority my attendance at all meetings of the board and committees on which I serve.
A member of UNAIDS, Mr. Niojo Lape, assured the new board the UNAIDS will give them the needed support. The Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Chermia Tuahine, said ending AIDS is achievable. The organization's future aim is a plan to construct a facility to promote the HIV/AIDS eradication agenda.
The Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, has conferred honorary degrees on 4 distinguished personalities in Ghana for their exceptional services to the country.
Authority granted me by the GIMPA Act and by the GIMPA Statutes 2020. I am pleased to confer on you, honoris causa, the degree of Doctor of Letters, with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges pertaining thereto here and elsewhere.
The personalities are Professor Emeritus Stephen Adai, Dr. Bafo Ejebewa, Mr. Ernest Bediako Sapong, and Mrs. Grace Ame Obeng. Professor Emeritus Stephen Adai was the Director General and the first Rector of GIMPA. As a scholar, Professor Emeritus Adai has authored and co-authored more than 25 books and 8 chapters. He has also written more than 100 articles, keynote addresses, and papers. Dr. Bafo Ejebewa is currently a professor and distinguished statesman in residence at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Massachusetts, USA. He has a counseling qualification from London Center of Advancement of Counseling. He is currently developing a girls' academy in the science in the ASHANTI region. Mr. Ernest Bediako Sapong is the founder and chief executive of Ernest Chemist Limited. He has served on various committees and boards, with the immediate past position being the president of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana. As a medical esthetician, founder and chief executive of Forever Clear Group of Companies, Mrs. Grace Ame Obeng has been at the forefront of the campaign against skin lightening among black women and has received recognition from both local and international media such as CNN, BBC, Forbes Africa magazine, and Al Jazeera.
The remains of the high priest of the Teshi Traditional Council, Numbo Aje Kwanko, has been laid to rest in accordance with the Ghana tradition. He served as the high priest of the Teshi Traditional Council from 1976 to 2019.
The week-long final funeral rites of the late high priest of the Teshi Traditional Council will climax with his burial. The rich culture of the Ghans signifying the death of a supreme leader was on display. Traditional leaders, chief priests and priestesses from the various Ga clans paid their last respect to the late Numo Aje Kwanko.
Watch Ebomode, Ebashe, Makashi, Nimo Bemi, Nanyano Wafi. She won Numu, de Wedamoshi. I can legi, Tashi fair woman by war, no leon, again at the machine. They lag by me, huh? Will be Nami Afia. Look at Yabana, Machine Ebabia. Libin any two army, no Amane, Amambane, no Bakafa. Kendo komi po echoreje mene eyane yo aneje ni mo kenide afo etuino na le go waneta ni wo esha ife ni yo ma na mi elele odogba kode ge wo fe wo shege wo no fe no aya ha no mo e ha wo twa no manya bla wo.
Numo Aje Kwanko served on the Teshi Traditional Council from 1976 to 2019. He served as Manche and Mankralo before he was installed as Wulomo of the Teshi Traditional Council. As part of his duties during his tenure, he officiated public worship, calculated days for the Homo festival, offered libation to the gods, and interpreted the will of the gods to the people. The late high priest will be laid to rest at the Royal Museum Cemetery.
Here on GBC News and Governance Channel, we also live on Ghana Television. We also streaming live via Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We'll be back shortly after this break.
Time to talk business. The drive by the youth to venture into agribusiness is gaining currency, with about 30 of them coming out with innovative ideas to win a total of $250,000 from Cosmos Innovation Center and MasterCard Foundation.
At Farm Estates is that you register with us and we do the farming for you. We produce your tomatoes for you. We produce your vegetables for you. At the end of the farming season, which is 3 months, and then 4 months, we sell off the produce and give you 20% back of your investment. This is not a scam.
These young men and women were part of 8 other groups that pitched their ideas in agribusiness competition and received support from Cosmos Innovation Center and MasterCard Foundation in Accra. Farm Estate was not the only group that came up with unique ideas to add value to Ghana's agricultural produce, but also Agri-Mecab, Asewura Bood, Mako Food, Demi-Pearl and Del Soil. What set these awards winners apart was that they were determined to harness their potential and become employers instead of employees. With a cash prize of $50,000 to $10,000, they are poised to make agriculture very attractive to ensure that Ghana's food security is in the hands of the youth, who are the future leaders of the country. And to Cosmos Innovation Center and MasterCard Foundation, the drive to make agriculture a game changer in Ghana can be done by joining their forces together. The executive director of KIC, Benjamin Jankese, said that the $16 million have been aligned to the MasterCard Foundation's Young Africa Works Vision program.
The success of Cosmos Innovation Center over the years has brought in few other partners who have shown interest in Cosmos Energy and now put in money to support us, our efforts to deepen it and expand the program.
The Senior Vice President and Head of Ghana Business Unit at Cosmos, Mr. Joe Mensah, said since 2016, 600 young leaders had been trained in business and entrepreneurship, and 100,000 farmers had been impacted by the program.
The MasterCard Foundation looking to really help create jobs on the continent of Africa. Ghana with a target of about 3 million by the year 2030.
The head of MasterCard Foundation Ghana, Rosie Finn, to train the next generation of young entrepreneurs in the country.
Across the continent, we want to be able to create 30 million dignified and fulfilling jobs to do, and 70% of those jobs we expect to go towards young women.
The MasterCard Foundation and Cosmos Innovation Center also launched a multi-year partnership program to train the next generation of young leaders and entrepreneurs in Ghana's agriculture sector. The initiative will transform agri-tech challenges, boost Ghana business across 16 regions of Ghana, and create work opportunities for 163,000 young Ghanaian women and men.
A final report on measures to finance a resilient climate infrastructure in Ghana has been presented to the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Friye, in Accra. The report, which is being facilitated by the Global Center for Adaptation, is expected to provide the blueprint for government to access funding in climate infrastructure, and also entails a roadmap of 35 priority investment areas in energy, water and transport.
More sustainable and eco-friendly economy has been on the priority list of government agenda in recent times. Although achieving this goal has not been an easy hurdle, government is confident that effective policies can change the narrative with the needed support and investment. Extreme weather and rapid changes to Ghana's climate, which poses a risk to key sectors of Ghana's socio-economic development, have been a main concern for the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. The Global Center on Adaptation has conducted feasibility studies in the energy, transport and water sectors to identify the necessary infrastructure adaptation needs with regards to climate change.
We now have a plan which is IP. We now have the investment opportunities. The first and next phase is we now need to mobilize the resources to invest in these concrete programs. The time to do it is now. We have no time.
The Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Friye, said government will focus on wooing investments from key partners and international organizations to safeguard the country's natural and economic resources.
These are coherent
practical and actionable programs that across all the sectors, well coordinated, that will address the specific issue of Ghana being resilient to the climate issue that comes up.
The African Development Bank and the World Bank have earmarked $25 billion to finance Africa's resilient infrastructure in the next 10 years, and Ghana stands to benefit from this project.
The Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Oforitin-Krine, says the value of pensions received by retirees is better than any form of personal investments they undertake. He explains that all the pension contributions by an active worker on the SNIT scheme, if invested in treasury bills, would not earn the accruals in value as the scheme upon retirement. This is because for a member contributing to SNIT for 322 months with a pension right of 60%, with the best salary average in 3 years as 688 Ghana cedis monthly, the accrued contribution over the working life period would amount to 37,000 Ghana cedis, or a present value of 45,000 Ghana cedis. He was speaking in Accra at the 2022 stakeholder engagement with informal workers.
The insurance scheme that we provide says that pay 11% of your incomes as a premium for up to 35 years. And you stand a chance to be paid up to 60% of the highest amounts that you came to insure with us for life. If you retire at 60 and you live for 30 years, that is 90. And we are going to pay you 60% of something that you paid only 11% on for that period. Right off the bat, you see that there is a big value transfer. If we take the amounts that you contributed to SNIT on a monthly basis and invested them in treasury bills and roll them every quarter, compounded until the time that you went on retirement at age 60, and then we compare it to what SNIT will pay you even for your first 12 years of pension, the data shows unequivocally clear that.
Up next is the international segment.